nowadays cooler coming in, but in the shuttle days when I flew, we had to actually cold soak the orbiter at night before we came back in to get rid of extra heat because we didn't have cool garments and we got very, very hot. In fact, in those days, the commanders and pilots would rip the rubber neck dam away from their throats because they got so much heat built up inside. Because when you come back to the atmosphere, it gets very, very hot because of the friction. It's just, it is very, very hot. This vehicle is supposedly it's going to maintain a nice 75 degrees, and they've got great suits on that if they have a problem, the suits themselves have an internal mechanism so that they can keep cool. So that in itself is wonderful. And then the speed that they come in, as I mentioned, the low Earth orbit takes a lot longer to come around because they're at a different angle, lower angle, but they're coming at a very steep angle, coming in very fast. And it'll be really nice for them to hit that nice water of the Pacific, I'm sure.
No doubt. Of course, though, I'm wondering what also goes through your mind during the course of that descent and during the process of splashdown, because, as you said, we've had a chance to also speak with the head of the Artemis program at NASA, too. Everything is just so precise here. What is going through your mind when you are an astronaut in the shuttle, in this case in a capsule, during splashdown?
There are things that would go through my mind now that didn't go through my mind then, for sure, because we had the biggest foam strike against the reinforced carbon on the wings of the shuttle that we didn't know about. In fact, it was the largest one before the accident on Columbia. And those are the kinds of things when you come back, you're thinking of whatever the current technology is and hoping that it works. And on this particular flight, they know that they looked at the heat shield and the angle of entry and the kinds of things they did for Artemis I. They learned from that, and they are trying to improve the heat shield coming in on Artemis II, changing the angle, the kind of entry they're having. So I think the crew are thinking that we did our best, and let's see how this technology works. But you're going so fast that in a blink of an eye, you've traveled miles, and there's nothing you can do about it. I mean, you just have to hope that the technology works, and you have to trust in all the testing that's been done. And you have to remember, this is still a test vehicle, and this is one of the very crucial steps in flying this vehicle out. So they know this. They're test pilots, and this is the job that they signed on to do. So they're going to be very, very focused on listening and thinking and being very, very clear about their observations, because they're all still important coming back to the water.
And Roberta, I wanted to ask you too, you had left a farewell recording for your mom during the time when you went on to your mission back in the 90s. I'm wondering, is this the scariest moment of a mission?
I have always said the scariest moment is the launch, the landing, and everything in between.
Roberta, thank you so much for your